The Yellow Brick Road. This video does not reflect the actual views of real people. These are actors playing a role to entertain audiences. No persons or animals were harmed in the making of this video. Gosh, I love YouTube and I love Google.
Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, this is James, and today we're going to be talking about nation, culture, and politics. And also killing time before we go see the Halloween movie, which you should come back for. Come back to this channel for a live review. Oh, and it'll be spoilers, because fuck that spoiler-free shit. Alright, if you're gonna review a movie, review the fucking movie.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Spoiler-free just seems like, you know, I don't know. Seems like chasing views and shit.
No.
No? For me, I'd rather just talk about the movie without any, like, borders or anything. Anyways.
It can be first half this, first half that, but fuck it.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to start. It's basically going to be all the shit that I would consider worth looking at. Because I know we had a lot of success with the Jimmy Dore video. This is the shit that those guys should be looking into. But probably won't. They probably won't even watch this video. They were just there for Jimmy Dore. Like, oh, you like Jimmy? Subscribe. You like Jimmy? Thumbs up. Well, this is shit that those guys and Jimmy Dore should all be looking into. Not just politics, but the shit that's bubbling up.
I'm a philosopher.
Yeah. So his first video is Stefan Molyneux. I feel like start using words like MREC.
Just imagine with
these fun boys.
Imagine with a white trench coat. I'm just saying. Really.
What do you mean?
On top of a railing in a lab. Laughing.
South Park animation.
Yeah.
So I guess he has a caller on. They're talking about South Africans and can all the people there and the races and whatever peacefully live amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go.
So the idea that there's some big competition, like, one, the blacks like to live in the cities and they don't like to farm in particular, and the Boers are excellent farmers, so why could there not just be coexistence?
Okay.
Aha, that I was hoping you'd ask this question. And the answer, okay, so let me go back a little. We have two conflicting ideas, both you and me, both you and I. We have the idea that culture can replace race as far as a group of people are concerned. But we also, both you and I, recognize the importance of race and how tribal most people are. And when I say most, I mean a vast majority of the people. So this idea of coexisting, I don't think it's, I mean, I did a cursory reading of all the laws, of the apartheid laws. You know, the laws were not nice. They were not nice, and they disenfranchised different groups there. This idea of getting along, there was no attempt, very much like the one in the United States, to create equal rights and opportunity for everyone. Hello?
Yeah, no.
So yeah, you can hear the guys trying to, like, you know, lay down a soft bed for Stefan Molyneux to fall into. So he's sort of like hanging on to Molyneux's ideas while sort of saying,
So you don't really mean that, do you? I mean, you mean this.
something like that.
Well, I have to break it. I hate to break it to you, but you're gonna unsubscribe as soon as I tell you what I really think. Just like this. Like how he talks. Like that.
He's saying, or the guy on the phone is talking about eliminating race and replacing it with culture. And that's playing off the idea that the races are naturally different. As in, if you take Eminem, I don't know, that'd be the example in favor of the other direction. Meaning, if you take a white middle-class lawyer who's, you erase his past and history, have him start off as a baby, place him in Harlem.
Circa 1987?
Place him in Spanish Harlem. He'll grow up still having like that higher intelligence, which will lead him to being a lawyer or something like that. I don't know if I explained that right.
I'm
Did
just,
that make
I'm
sense
just
to
waiting
you?
for Yeah.
Yeah. But he's just basically saying that a person's nature is genetic.
I scoff at such things.
Yeah, with minor additions from the environment, minor nurturing. Okay, so also he brought up the sort of the biased laws and rules that were going on in apartheid South Africa.
Apartheid state. Yeah.
Now they were a little bit biased, a little unfair.
A little?
He didn't want to say it like, this shit was fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you, a leftist?
It's like these guys have two right hands, all of a sudden it starts changing. It's like, now the left hand.
Okay, so here is Molyneux's response to that.
Oh, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, so
here's a continuation.
that is why this idea of them, and the reason that we can't get along is because I think, and this is going to be a very controversial idea.
Wait, Bob, we never allow controversial ideas on this show. It's not possible. No, go on.
I think that the white, that European-based people want it both ways. They want to have the cheap labor, and they want to, at the same time, they want to quote unquote get along with the people and create a single society.
That sounds a little like slavery, right? You want cheap, aka free labor, just slavery times, but you want the slaves to be happy with it. Yeah, no, just plugged in. Right? Doesn't it sound like that a little bit? Like you want the cheap labor, but we also want to live together peacefully.
Yeah, it's borderline
So
like,
it's like, what?
like, listen, you're not slaves, but you're gonna be making $1 a day. That's borderline slavery. Yes.
And we want to get along while we do it. We don't want any uprisings or revolts.
It means you keep them happy. You keep them, like, listen. It's not like we're gonna make sure you guys have no hope. It's not like you could do anything about it. Look at me. Look at my Yeezys. Look at you and your open-toed sandals that you made from leaves.
Now, I think Molyneux's position would be that they're naturally going to just take the low-paying jobs because their intelligence is going to be low. So they're going to have, if they want to survive, they have no choice but to take the low-paying jobs.
This is...
Because they'll never be smart enough to get the higher-paying jobs.
Wow.
Only a small percentage of them will.
That's ridiculous.
And I've noticed this with several of these guys. Lauren Southern, probably someone else, where they always fall back on this argument when when their base argument like fails, they fall back on intelligence or culture. Like Laura Southern was in a debate with, I forgot his name. He's a libertarian, some sort of anarchy type of political position. And they're arguing about immigration. And her default fallback argument is, well, okay, even if the immigration happens and it's peaceful, it's like, well, it might change the cultures, though. Do you want mosques on every corner? Huh? Right?
Like, seems
So
highly
it's like,
unnecessary.
what?
Seems highly unnecessary. I mean, on every corner, they could just, you know. Oh, well.
Dude was like, well, we caused the immigration by bombing the shit out of their countries.
Yeah.
It's like we stop, blowing up brown people, and maybe they won't become immigrants. Once he makes that argument and hers falls apart, she relies on the culture aspect. Right? Our culture is disappearing. That's a tagline you can hear in a shitload of.
It's creepy. It's scary.
You can probably hear
I heard that 2 years ago, and I thought it would disappear. So this is ridiculous. No, not surprised anymore.
You could probably hear the same argument from Edward Norton in American History X or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Not
The
saying these guys
character
are not saying these guys are racist. All I'm saying is that they all happen to be Canadian. That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling them racist. They're just Canadians.
All of them?
Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren Southern, Canadian. Gavin McInnes, Canadian. Vertical Politics, Canadian.
Sure about that?
Come on. You hear his accent?
We'll give him this.
Do you hear his accent? I can't even do it. Whatever. But, alright, we're going to hear Stefan Molyneux fall back to the default position of, well, these guys are just not as smart.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates problems. That creates huge problems that you see in the United States and that you see in South Africa. Do you understand how I'm saying that's related to this?
I do, but let's deal with the elephant in the room, right? So the IQ issue in South Africa is pretty clear. That the average black in sub-Saharan Africa has an average IQ of 70 or low 70s, right? And that's the bottom 2 or 3% of the white population. So one of the problems, of course, that happened, so as the post-Second World War period, the numbers of blacks and the numbers of whites in South Africa were more or less equal. And now there are 8 times more blacks than whites. And the reason for that is white technology, it's science, it's medicine, it's food production, it's sanitation, like all of the stuff that comes from the higher IQ population.
The higher IQ population.
Yes. White technology.
It's like just a bunch of...
That's a real thing.
A bunch of corporate greedy
Each
fuckers.
mine.
A bunch of corporate greedy fuckers that create, technology and things. Whatever, man.
And that should be a red flag. Once again, I'm not calling them racist. I'm just calling them Canadian.
You can call him a dumbass.
Not, in all seriousness, I don't think any of these guys are really racist.
No, I don't either.
If you look at the true essence of that, I don't think anyone is. Period.
Me either. I just think they're silly, ignorant fuckers.
Yeah, let's just go with ignorance. And
A nice slice of it. Like if I gave you money in a position, I'd watch what happens here. Watch it crumble. Ready?
So, actually, let's hear the end of this, and then I'll make my little spiel.
And that's one of the reasons why the vote was not extended to blacks at the time, because the concern was saying, look, the IQ studies have been known for a long time in South Africa, So, yeah, there was some concern about, well, first of all, once communism took root within the black community, which it did very deeply and very powerfully in the post-war period, and I understand that to some degree, of course, because the communists were saying, well, you're not being treated equally and we're going to fight for your rights, and I understand all of that. But once communism took root, communism teaches such class hatred. And because of the IQ division between the blacks and the whites in South Africa, the richer class, so to speak, was generally whites, and the poorer class was generally blacks. And, you know, again, I think IQ, there's some culture, whether it's genetic or environmental, is not particularly important. That was the reality, and it hasn't budged much in the intervening time. So once the Marxists come along, they say, there's no such thing as IQ differences. The only difference between rich and poor, between whites and blacks, comes about because of exploitation. Because you brought a little bit, I'm not saying you're a communist, but you brought up some of this like cheap labor and stuff like that.
And writing and straight up disenfranchising people. Like almost writing it into law. Like that too. Almost like you're not allowed to read type stuff.
Yeah, you wonder, like, and that's when the arguments, which, you know, are which are like, you know, like, I understand where you would come up with this, like, they're trying to keep us down. I'm like, yeah, because they're taking advantage of you. It's not because they really hate you, it's because they like it. They like taking advantage of people, because that means they can get more profits, you know.
Yeah.
But then people get lost in the whole, they hate us. No matter where we're like, no. If you're poor, unsuspecting, maybe ignorant to the whole situation, they'll take advantage of you, whoever you are. And by they, I mean corrupt people. But he thinks it's a race genetic thing, which is ridiculous. Unbelievable.
And here's, hopefully you didn't miss this when you're listening to Molyneux talk. But the guy brings up, okay, if they had disadvantages, you know, social disadvantages, like biased disadvantages. Okay, and then he brings up the IQ differences, and that the biases were justified because one part of the population is less intelligent than the other population. Thus, they turn to communism. And my question is, well, what was your original system then? If it was purposely discarding votes of people, purposely discarding representation, so that only a certain group can vote.
Yeah, it's like the group of people have now become null and void. Like it's not what they think.
They're not intelligent enough to partake in this democratic process. Then it's not democracy.
No,
right?
It becomes something else.
Like, what is it then?
And then it's only. I mean, it's understandably so that, like, well, what could we do? Like, well, let's try this. But unfortunately, that might have been a subject to corruption as well. And he's already stating it. It's like Marxism or communism, but in explain shit, they teach hate regarding the class system, or that's what he said, right? And it's like, yeah, it's called corruption and ignorance. It's a system.
Yeah.
It's a neutral thing until someone's like, we can make money off of this. Join me. See those unsuspecting people over there might be ignorant of the whole thing? Watch this. Hey, everybody, we can all be equal. Follow me.
Yeah. And if you're defining whatever communism as this terrible, horrible thing, well, what was this other system that you're talking about, where they were disregarding votes?
It's like if you were to call it capitalism, but you have to throw some different letters in there because it's different now. Like capitalism.
You almost said capitalism.
I caught myself there. Pause. But anyway, it's like, it's not capitalism. It's this thing now because it's different. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is different.
Here's what your guys' systems are supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about systems for the sake of systems, which is why I think this guy argues for a lot. Capitalism because of capitalism. It should all be based on moral principles. Maybe.
But he might measure morality as intelligence. He might. This guy might even think it's genetic.
That's the thing. He thinks morality. He thinks the IQ test.
Yes.
This is what I think he thinks. He thinks the IQ test
determines morality.
Will determine your
Ridiculous.
Moral principles.
Unbelievably ridiculous.
Yeah. That just disregards every child on the planet.
Like you're immediately like
don't hit him. No, it doesn't count. You're too dumb, don't you see? You don't understand what's going on here.
It's like give me like 1950s like circa 1950s like wear. You know, I'll tour the world, like get my hair combed in that toxic grease. Hello, little Jordan. Are you having fun playing basketball in the inner cities? Yeah. Blah. Listen, son, you better stop while you're trying. There's no hope for you. You see, push him away. In white society, we have moral intelligence on top of everything else. Advantages. Hey, Timmy. Gosh, that's enough. See, they have no hope. Right from the day they're conceived. There's no hope. Throw them out the window. It's like, what is this?
To be fair, he adds environmental to it, which, well, he says whether it's genetic or environmental doesn't seem to matter here.
Yeah, it does. It matters what he thinks.
It matters what he thinks, but him bringing up intelligence also doesn't matter either.
Yeah.
Because morality is a separate type of intelligence.
Yes.
Separate but connected.
It's a part of a spectrum.
As in, if I want to speak about morals, or like, hey, fuck you. Like, oh, that's like an immoral thing to do. Just to randomly pick someone, fuck you, man. Right? But you had to have the intelligence to learn English and then understand that that means disrespect.
Must direct this insult towards this person. I'm smart now.
But the core of that scenario is disrespecting, right?
Yeah.
I'm insulting you, or I'm putting you down. That's the core that everyone has, or can have. I hope everyone has.
It's capable.
But I didn't need to.
Even if you forget.
I didn't need to learn English in order to understand disrespect or being hurtful to someone. Right? That's the core thing. That's the core intelligence we're talking about.
Actually, people learn new languages. We're all 10 years old, or 9 years old, or 8. We know how to speak English, whatever. But there's a new language, like body language, or even language within the own, like with slang and stuff, Certain ways to pronounce words, like condescend. I sound like a condescending tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, in a way, it's like, see? Another language.
Yeah.
But no. Just certain people just won't. There's no hope. There is no ladder for them. It's not there. Like, you have a kiddie stool. I have an elevator. You can watch as I ascend to the clouds and above.
Hopefully he's not arguing for that in all these other countries, in Western countries and all that shit. That, these people are too dumb for their votes to count. Granted, I don't agree with the system the way it is, but it's like...
Well, the system itself is it's been edited. It's messed up.
I think it should be the right people explaining to other people that may not understand the entire situation, as opposed to, I scored high on my SATs, I should be leading you.
Exactly. Listen, I went to Ivy League.
It's nothing to do with leadership.
I
at
went
all.
to Harvard. So? Sir, that doesn't mean anything anymore. Fuck. I was a lawyer. I understand the law. We don't care. It's like, shit. Abort.
Yeah.
Comes back later, 2 months later, with like plastic surgery. You suck the other guy from last week or 2 weeks ago. We still don't like you. Fuck.
If you're such an intelligent person, you should be able to.
Political leaders, that is. That's how it's referencing.
You should learn how to speak the language of just normal people.
Yeah.
And explain your moral positions to them to where they understand it.
Yeah. And
If you're so super fucking intelligent.
instead of feeling what's it called, insecure.
You're obfuscating.
Instead of feeling
No,
insecure.
say what that means.
Yeah. Instead of feeling insecure and like, oh, there's some intelligence. It's like, no, man, it's a new language, man. You just never heard it before. Like those
It's
who feel
like-
afraid and like insecure about it, like I don't like them. I'm like, why? Because I don't know what they're talking about, and I feel bad about it. It's like, fuck you mean, man?
It's just like Bob, who doesn't get that. It's like, oh, there's no meaning in this music called rap. Just nothing there. Oh, you don't speak the language, do you? We try to translate for you.
It's two. It's two.
What?
No, keep going.
I said Bob.
I got you. Keep going.
We're gonna switch over videos to another.
You mean the transgender Bob, right? Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
thought. All right.
Another golden cow.
This is a lot longer than I thought it'd be. Balls. All right.
I told you it's a marathon.
You said maybe.
I said till
I'm trying to eat.
Bob gets here. Oh, you can go ahead.
No, I want to watch.
Which one? The NPC one?
Let's watch the one where this guy says they're not people. They're lost. I'll be right back.
You want to wait?
You choose a different video.
Alright. So I'm going to give you a little context of the guy's video we're about to talk about. His name is Vertigo Politics. And I attached a tweet to this live stream, so hopefully he gets it and responds. Hopefully. So, this is his video on Jordan Peterson and race realism. Yeah. Oh, wait. Also, just pointing it out, maybe a correlation here. He sounds like another Canadian. I'm biased against Canadians. What do you want?
Dr. Jordan Peterson is a Canadian academic who shot to fame because he took a stand against newfangled gender pronouns. He is now a YouTube star, and his book, 12 Rules for Life, is a bestseller. Like others recently profiled in a comically apprehensive article about the intellectual dark web in the New York Times, Dr. Peterson has made a name for himself simply by making common-sense observations of the kind that have become taboo. He does a great deal of good, hacking away at egalitarian foolishness, and his audience is very much the sort of people who have the potential to become race realists. However,
like it's a team or something. Sounds like recruitment, almost. I don't know.
Dr. Peterson has explicitly denounced white consciousness. At a recent talk at Lafayette College, a member of the audience asked what he thought about taking pride in European ethnic identity. He replied in part, quote, "The West has got some things right. We got the sovereignty of the individual right." And he noted that this has resulted in worldwide wealth. But then he continued, "Am I proud of that? It's like I didn't do that. What the hell? Pride? What's that?" It is odd that Dr. Peterson should ask. In the first chapter of his 12 Rules for Life, he explains that pride helps lobsters and birds guard their territory and determines which survive disease and reproduce. He also notes that self-respect helps people resist oppression. Therefore, according to his own logic, European pride is vital to the West's survival. In his lecture, Dr. Peterson said that Western civilization is a new miracle on the world stage, and that European cities are unbelievable masterpieces. He then talked about global tourists visiting these cities, implying that the cities belong to everyone, just as Western civilization does. He cautioned, however, that we have no right to take pride in European cities just because you happen to have the same skin color as some of the people there. Dr. Peterson even briefly acknowledged group differences in IQ, but he said that he is hesitant about discussing implications and then ignored them altogether. Needless to say, they have enormous consequences, and low IQ groups could not possibly have built our civilization.
So, lower IQ groups. So let's say that the lower IQs of the white European, so those guys should take credit for something that, you know, some great thinker dude made up.
My ancestors.
Whoever made like the Gothic style buildings.
Mm.
It's like, I take pride that I did that. It's like I did it. It's like,
what?
Like, no, you couldn't have done that. You gotta do all this other work over here to do that shit. It's very weird.
It's like, hey, while we're at it, how about all the slaves? How about that?
And I'm 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals because Michael Jordan.
I'm a two-division.
Take pride in
I'm
that.
two-division mixed martial arts champion because of McGregor. We did it.
I invented peanut butter. Did you not know? George Washington Carver. I don't even know if that's true.
I defeated Arturo Gatti in the first fight of our three-part trilogy.
I created the Chappelle Show.
I defeated Mickey Ward in the next two fights of our trilogy.
Ooh. He's Italian?
Dude, Arturo Gatti.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
He screams Italian.
He looks Spanish.
It's because he's a dark Italian.
Excuse me, Latino. Continuing on. And analytical intelligence does shit externally that we all use, technology and things like that. That's what analytical intelligence is, right? I can measure two squares and put them together. Say, oh look.
I also got knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. Twice.
And there's moral intelligence, which is supposed to be the heroes and champions of our society, even though they usually get shot and killed and overtaken by some sort of government warlord.
I'm prepared. Don't worry.
We have the empathetic, usually possibly doctors and nurses, faith healers, I don't know. You have artistic intelligence. You got the writers and the screenwriters,
Like Mr. West?
the directors, musicians. Yes, I do. I also have multiple Grammy Awards.
Well, I had a great movie that came out, and I had an album to go with it about spaghetti.
I was in Training Day.
Jay! I shot you.
Do you recognize that?
We shot you. We didn't give you the bag of money.
Fuck. I was the black gang members that protected you. When they could have easily turned on you, but we had the moral fortitude to stand by your side.
I'm the white cast director that casted all of you fuckers.
I'm the black director of the movie.
I'm your white dad.
Hey, you see how people take credit for shit that they didn't do? That some individual did with their individual intelligence and their individual pursuits. But we, stir that away and just say the group did it.
See, it's one thing like, oh, your team won. You're part of a fan base, that's fine. Like, yes, champions. Like, people say, you weren't on the motherfucking field, you didn't win shit. But you're part of the fan base, So you can say that. Not, we fucking did it. It's like, wait a minute.
It's Brian Scalabrine on the Boston Celtics, who's won rings without playing minutes in the playoffs.
I wouldn't even take it.
Hmm?
I didn't do anything. I'm not even. Don't give it to me.
Can I sell it? Alright.
Asians are the only other race with a high enough average IQ to build something approaching Western civilization. But
Don't forget about Ashkenazi Jews. Right? I think that's the name of it. Those guys are the highest. Them and Asians are the highest. So, I think he's going to add a caveat here, as in, they're the only ones with the intelligence to do it. But, they're dumb.
the other race with a high enough average IQ to build something approaching Western civilization. But these racial differences go beyond IQ. Asians appear to be more sensitive to criticism in a way that reinforces conformity. These differences predict a Martin Luther as opposed to a Confucius. It is therefore unlikely that East Asians would have developed the individual rights that Dr. Peterson sees as a world miracle.
Oh, spare me.
That all sounds make-believe. If you're in a society and there's heavy tyranny from up above, that people are most likely going to rebel. That's with anything, straight up. If they don't, you probably just didn't hear about it in history class.
Or you're just not looking at it.
Yeah.
He then continues further. It's not even so clear to what extent Western civilization is European. I mean, didn't it come out of the Middle East? Even if this absurd statement were true, and something essential to our civilization came out of the Middle East, Europeans built our civilization, not Middle Easterners. If Dr. Peterson was talking about Christianity, it has been Europe's religion for more than 1,000 years.
They always do that.
What?
They always do that.
What?
These guys, man. It's like, it's been our religion for more than 1,000 years. It's like, wasn't Jesus like Middle Eastern and shit? And Molyneux did that with South Africa. They've been there for generations. It's like, the Africans were there first, so. Not that I give a fuck about that. But why are you cutting the dates off at certain points? This is when South Africa began, when we decided to draw imaginary lines on a map. That's when South Africa happened. Like, no, it was land that was there already, before the artificial borders and all that shit. There was no America until
They need to build the bridge, man. You got to use. Okay, well, what's enough supplies? Let's stop there. We have enough.
It's like, yes, guys, there was no America before the Pilgrims got there. That's because just no one called it America.
Yeah.
But it was there, and there were people there. All right.
And has received a thick overlay that is distinctly Western. Moreover, as Dr. Peterson noted, Islam, a truly Middle Eastern religion, may not be compatible with Western civilization.
If I had a goddamn dime for every time I've seen something like this.
Oh, where they shine a light on one thing and down
Yep.
and shit on another thing.
Look, they're like, look, they have the hookah and shit.
They're like, no, don't rape me.
Not us.
That's what we do. It's in our genes, in our religion.
This is creepy, man.
Oh, by the way, there's 3 million Muslims living in America,
Yeah.
but they can't adapt. They're all just planning terrorist attacks. We just don't see them.
Like this kid I befriended in elementary school throughout middle school and high school. No, he was planning to kill me all this time.
Sleeper cell.
Exactly.
Watch your back, man.
Oh, yeah. Someone actually told me that. Our neighbors could be sleepers. I'm like, the fuck's wrong with you? I was like, oh my god. Someone actually said that to me.
There was, I don't even know if it was Muslim or not. I think it was Muslim. and sat at our lunch table.
Yeah.
We called him 9/11, and he was happy. He was laughing about it.
Oh, my friend, he's like, you better be nice to me, man. I got Bin Laden on the speed dial.
That's one of the most American things you could ever say.
But here's the thing, though. Like, he would shit on anybody. Like, he was good. He could have been a comedian or rapper. Like,
That's what America is.
Like,
oh my god.
he's like, hey, man. What's up, terrorist? Hey, what's up, fat ass? It's like, they just look at him like, oh.
America is more like South Park than CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC.
I could throw Obama at you, and maybe that fat will go away, too. Would you like that?
But that's who I think these guys are arguing against.
Yeah.
Not that they're American. No offense.
Maybe they had that. Maybe they had that kid in school that they try to pick on. Like, hey, I have jokes too. Ready? It's about that hairline of yours. Let's do it.
It's like, oh, it's bullying. It's because I'm smarter than them. And America's like, I get ragged on every day, man. It's whatever.
It's a teasing, you know. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, your friend shows up to your lunch table. It's like, hey man, what kind of shirt is that? I'm like, are you wearing bow shoes to school? Oh, that's a big deal. It's just, you're just saying shit. You know?
He then concluded on a smug note. There we go. Dispensed with the radical right-wingers in 4 minutes, adding that any racial argument is so muddle-headed that you hardly know where to start. Instead, it is his own confusion about the nature of race, Middle Eastern and European culture, and his insistence that pride must be strictly individual that are muddled. The European genome, with its effects on IQ and temperament, was necessary for the creation of our culture. As Sam Francis explained in a 1994 speech, the civilization that whites created in Europe and America could not have developed apart from the genetic endowments of the creating people, nor is there any reason to believe that the civilization can be successfully transmitted to other peoples. So,
Gino.
I want to hear that again, but maybe you should look into Bruce Lipton. He should. Maybe even Joe Rogan, when he explains the temperament and genetic code of a pig, when it goes from a domestic situation to out into the wild, and how it like
Changes.
relatively short period of time
Yeah.
changes its form and grows hair a certain way, and probably like what are they called? Fangs or whatever the fuck. Hooves, husks, all that shit starts growing out. It's like, oh, I don't know, I'm just saying.
Hey kid, go play some football for 20 years. You paint. One develops a certain way of doing it. Other one's like more athletic, most likely. Unless the painter's like, you guys haven't, like, oh, you guys think I'm scale and funny, huh? I mean, my bad. Frail and skinny, huh? Then he pulls his painting aside. He's been training like Lance Armstrong for the last 15 years. I'm ripped as fuck, but you can't see it. I wear baggy clothing. Nonetheless, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, again, that is a form of intelligence.
Oh, 100%.
could not have developed apart from the genetic endowments of the creating people, nor is there any reason to believe that the civilization can be successfully transmitted to other peoples. So, in a real sense, there is a we that creates things, and there is a difference between simply being proud to be white and being proud of the civilization whites created.
Go back. Fuck that. How high they are? Fuck that. I don't care if that's fake. That looks like they're a bug. So you look at that. Well, we all will die if we take 2 steps out our way. Fuck that, man.
He's basically saying people can't learn the culture of whatever he's talking
really?
about. Well, when he says white culture, he means Western. So that means America and Canada and Europe.
It's fairly generalizing.
He's saying it's unlearnable by whoever the fuck he's talking about.
What?
He also said earlier in this video,
Yeah.
he also said white consciousness.
White? Wow. Holy shit.
He crossed over into
Based on your
spiritual
race.
territory.
Based on your race, you have depends on if you, how high your consciousness is, or whatever the fuck. So you have a rating of 8, James. See, you're one of those guineas, but you're also an Irish and English. Jordan, there's no hope for you. You're like a 2 at best. You're one of them feather-wearing dancing fuckers that makes it rain a lot. And then that other thing we don't like talking about.
Just a couple steps further away from heaven than my European brothers.
Who said there's a heaven for you? You'll be in purgatory. You'll wander around wondering why you didn't stay out of the sun long enough to be mistaken as one of us.
But yeah, avoid this channel. Vertical politics. If you're going to talk anything with spirituality or philosophy, avoid speaking to us. But please do. But avoid it. You should avoid it.
I think he's scared.
He would probably.
You don't. No, you don't want this.
It seems like the anonymous, controversial subject
here's
guys
my honest
want to
question.
stay away from.
Here's my honest question: if you truly believe in it, why don't you show yourself?
They're gonna say something about like occupation and jobs and shit.
Fair enough.
Like, oh, they'll find my boss will find this and I'll get fired for it.
At the end of the day, man.
Which you should be able to sue them for, but if you have a constitution, something similar to a constitution, you should be.
That's true.
Allowed to say it.
I would admire it more that like, this is what I believe. This is who I am.
Now, if it's life and death, like he seems to make it,
yeah,
then you basically have no choice but to stand on your principles.
Let's not make it like I'm Batman. You see, I have to hide my face, my skin face. It's like okay, dude. Okay.
The Dark Knight was about politics.
I don the mask of a monkey and I throw shit at people.
It's strictly about politics and male and female relationships.
You see, the Joker wanted to show you why the neoliberal conservatives are wrong. Like, you got it. You fucking got it. Next time, when you see what's his name, director, and his brother.
Nolan Brothers.
Yeah, Nolan Brothers say, tell me, tell me, how much of a neoliberal conservative are you? He's still there. Just walks away.
James, I'm sensing sarcasm in your voice.
Sarcasm.
You need to take a red pill and realize that all women are here to control you, control your behaviors and your movements, and to belittle you so that they can win the overall game of life and then die happy.
Now you see, it's in their genetic coding no matter what. You see, as soon as they hit that ripe age of 8, they already start beginning to sass me. So, this game will be won, and always it will be won by men. I don't care what Chris Cyborg has to say. Their genetic coding is not par with mine.
What are you doing this for? Love? There's nothing so insipid as love.
No, it's just a bunch of.
I think these guys just skipped the second.
Just a bunch of white men taking over taking what theirs.
This CGI ain't as good. I'm skipping the second and third Matrix movies that might explain their why.
This is such low hanging fruit. I really. If I ever had to use that term, I'd use it now. This is such.
I'm waiting for someone to make that argument against us.
This is garbage, huh?
I say that about those guys all the time.
What, that's being garbage?
When they argue with SJWs, like, oh, you're just low hanging, or atheists arguing against religious people.
A lot of people don't understand.
Like, guys, it's low hanging fruit. Like, you should call us out on that because this seems like low hanging fruit.
Sure. At the same time, like even if
but they don't.
Even if someone called out something I said from like a previous video, like previous video,
yeah,
I'm like, oh yes. See, I thought this at that certain time, but now. But even so, it wouldn't matter. I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm waiting for anything. I don't think I.
We had 2 people.
Huh?
Saturday. Well, so far, one person that was extremely persistent, and then this disappeared. Now, hopefully nothing bad happened, but...
Yeah, and invited them on.
Some people argue in the comments, I'll read it, and then right around the time where it's like, hey, why don't you debate us? They just disappear. Or even before that, when the argument keeps going on, they just stop. It always ends with them not responding back. You know? It's like, I proved my point.
Alright, let's finish this fucking video.
Difference between simply being proud to be white and being proud of the civilization whites created. Rather than take pride in Western civilization, Dr. Peterson says we have to get our act together and take responsibility for it. While in his book, he states that pride and caring for oneself are first steps towards improving oneself.
Oneself?
My identity is not racial.
I don't think he's talking about race in that. You might be reading it that way, or trying to...
Like, if someone asks this guy, who are you? Well, I'm a white. No. Who are you? He's going to state, like, what he looks like, his occupation, his beliefs. Like, no, I said, who are you?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't understand. That's why people like to group together. Well, who are you? Well, I'm an African American. No. Who are you? I'm a starting quarterback for the low affiliate football team. No. It's like almost like a language barrier. It's like, I don't understand this, so I'm gonna say identity is like a racial thing. It's like there's no such thing as racial identity.
Yeah.
Identity is a solidified thing. Like you can't compare it to my pigment. That's who I am.
And
I take away all those things, and what's left?
And you can logically break that down in the sense of, okay, let's say you have an identity. Well, who actually knows the identity? That person,
Yeah.
that individual.
Yeah.
How can the group even see the identity?
Yeah.
They don't know if you're lying,
It's
put
almost
on a fucking show.
Yeah.
They don't know if you don't even know yourself.
It's almost as if someone walks up to me and says, I know your identity. Like, and they're trying to be philosophical. Like, oh, you don't. Only I know that. No, you're white. You already lose.
Actually, I think we made a video about Peterson on identity.
Yeah.
But to discount pride in our race and heritage undermines any attempt we have to redeem the
I'm really
West.
sick of this depiction of, it's creeping me out a little bit. Like, oh, the white people are being taken advantage of. Look at them. Like, earlier, you just saw a fucking picture of white ladies like, no! And Muslims like, and it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you're not trying to paint a picture, dude, you know, with some low-hanging fruit argument that you really can't back up.
Yeah.
And then if you try to pass it on as a truth, I could definitely argue how, like, oh, well, your studies don't mean much here.
Yeah.
You just crossed over in somewhere where those don't hold up at all.
Come have a discussion with someone who's not a fan, who's not going to feed back the things you want to hear, who's going to have a argument for you. That's what I recommend. Or do that with yourself. You can do that with yourself.
It
Question
doesn't
your
need
own
us.
question your own
It
ideas.
doesn't need us. It really doesn't.
No, it does not at all. That's the point of being an individual.
But to discount pride in our race and heritage undermines any attempt we have to redeem the West, something that the good doctor conveniently omits.
Whoa. Whoa.
What was that?
Nah.
Pride and race. There's nothing wrong with celebrating culture. But it's
Yeah.
when we start going to these extremes, you know. It's like, what do you call it? The Day of the Dead. People celebrate, you know. And it really doesn't matter who you are, you can celebrate it. But it's
Halloween,
yeah.
Christmas. Those are awesome holidays.
People, well, Thanksgiving, it's a horrible history. I'm like, yes, but guess what? It's now about giving, being thankful. Look, see how we turned to something that had maybe not the greatest origins to something positive. You know, you see, nothing wrong with that. It's a cultural thing, I would say so as well, huh? That expands upon itself, really transcends. It's like meaning, oh, like you and me and her and them. And I never met them before. They don't look like us. They don't look the same nationality as us. They're not really American, but look, they can do it too.
Which actually leads to the title of this video: Nation, Culture, and Politics.
Which is why race...
Those are all created things.
Race realism is silly. Silly.
It's a theory that people have, hopped on it horseback and said, let's go. Run the race.
As soon as you have the mentality, it's a race. Like, oh, you've already lost. It's not even a game.
Beware the quicksand.
I'm using your language.
Yeah.
Like, but the lady in the bikini that told me she'll talk to me after I win the race. She dropped the little tissue and then she said go. I'm like, where is she? He looks back, no one's there. It's like, oh, you made it up. You see how these silly arguments have to be made. Well, these silly arguments are being made due to I would say like certain circumstances, and then the only way that happens. No, my bad. The only way that something like this happens is when something like that is there to elevate it. Just like people like, the reason why you're here, man, is because those silly people exist, and now you're gonna exist. As far as what you're saying,
it's doing the opposite of some group and calling it individualism or a unique idea. I think Tessarian explains it like spot on about the rebel and the conformist and the rebel. It's like it's not really rebellion. You're just playing the other side of the coin.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Really, is like, well, I used to be a Christian, but now I've joined the truth. Atheism is unstoppable. And then it's like, oh no, you just went to the other side of the ship.
And you're fighting as hard as you can to hold up that other idea because it justifies your rebellious nature or rebellious idea. And then if your idea gets empowered, you're just going to find the rebel on the other side again. It's just going to repeat itself, like most things.
But maybe the rebel didn't realize how it's about race realism. He just couldn't comprehend it. It was impossible.
Good example of this. It's probably the last one.
Yeah.
I have not watched this, so I have no idea what this chick's gonna say. The title is "How to Win Against the Left When Reason and Evidence Fail," from our favorite YouTuber, Blonde in the Belly of the Beast.
Blonde bombshell.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
I suppose to play on words.
All women are beautiful, of course.
I didn't say she wasn't. I'm just saying.
I was just saying, in general.
I don't need you to suck up to anybody, man.
That's how I lure them in for a debate.
That's how you lure them in to capture them. Just like those Muslims that did those young white women. Hey, we got you now. Your camera's gone. You can't be helped now. No. Hey, please stop. Mary, don't argue with them. They're not white. They can't comprehend consciousness. No! Oh! Oh, God, man. How silly is that? So, you're showing me how, as far as morality, like how low you are in that, It's like, I can't really think of any reason why anybody or anything would do this, so I'm going to say it has to be because it's their race.
It's because the source of morality is so hidden to them.
I get it, yeah.
So like,
but then they start using the
no
word.
reference point. It's not on billboards. It's not in your commercials.
Yeah, but then they start using the word. They say morality is also a genetic. Like, okay, you're going down. It's enough. It's enough.
Yeah.
Don't. Nothing wrong with like saying, "Hey, I believe an objective truth is silly." I'm not going to use that word. I'm disregard. I'm not going to totally disregard it. But in terms of everybody else ever using it, I'm going to ask them, what do you mean by that? If we establish what the truth is, then we'll see how an objective truth is somewhat of a silly thing. Then there's, their morality. I'm like, you even know what that means?
They'll bring up some 17th century philosopher and say, "See, this guy said it.
I don't give a fuck.
He's in all the books."
I don't care. There's certain philosophers that people have never heard of.
Yeah.
Like, you ever wonder why, like, I feel like specific guys, right? Someone made a theory of how Sigmund Freud like certain specific things, like the guy said, are being like hindered.
Yeah.
And like the silly idea of what he was saying, like, not silly, like he was a proponent of it, but something that was kind of like blown out of proportion. Like, oh, he's having sex with your mother. See? I don't even know if that's true, but it's something silly, you know? It's like, how about we look at other shit he said? Maybe that could explain things. No. No. Alright.
Hey guys. I always try to win an argument fair and square. I review evidence and present the most convincing points. But as I am sure you've discovered by now, even with the better argument, more eloquently delivered, it is extremely difficult to change someone's mind.
It's a nitpick, but eloquence does not mean shit to me. All of it, just the point, that's what matters. That's practical use of language and trying to express ideas, as long as I understand it. Whatever.
Particularly if they're emotionally motivated. After all, we're dealing with people who, confronted with real-world evidence that conflicts with their lived reality, or whatever invented postmodernist garbage they've been taught by their lesbian professor at some crappy California college, would rather create a lab...
Whoa. What's wrong with being lesbian? Alright. There you go.
I mean,
Let's let her expose herself even more. Keep going.
I mean, when I was 17, I said shit I regretted. In my 20s. It's like, fuck. How long are you gonna wait? It's like, I don't know.
All I know is when someone knocked at the door.
Maybe it's one of the celebrity type things.
When someone knocked at the door and I answered the door and they said, "Hey, I gotta ask you some questions." And I answered the questions, and then after it was over, it's like, shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do?
Corinthian system of rationalization than simply adjust their worldview. The desire to virtue signal is stronger than I ever thought possible. I even mentioned in a video a few years back that once people see real-world consequences, once they or their loved ones start to experience the dangers of multiculturalism, they'll change their tune.
She's so gunning for a job on Fox. She's gunning for it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Alright, look.
Born Southern for sure.
Just look. No. Definitely not. Alright, here we go.
I was going to say something. Whatever.
But that is not what has happened. When Molly Tibbetts was murdered senselessly by an illegal immigrant, we saw her brainwashed father praise the Hispanic community and their contribution to food culture. When Maria Laudenberger was brutally raped and murdered by an Afghan migrant, her father, an EU official devoted to multiculturalism, asked for donations for refugees from the attendees of her funeral.
When America just bombed the shit out of Iraq, the people were screaming, "Yeah!" and they tore down the statue of Saddam Hussein. There's American flags everywhere.
We're not here to talk about that. You extremist lefty. You punk. It's okay, your skin doesn't allow you to be intelligent enough to understand it all. It's All right.
And, I don't know, one thing could lead to another. One shitty action could lead to another. Especially when you're dealing with ignorant type people.
Oh, sure. If we have a bunch of ignorant people, not necessarily corrupt, but just a bunch of ignorant people, then a shitty thing happens. It's very easy to see how things can quickly become bad on both sides.
Yeah, you could simply just...
It's like, I'll bomb you. Boom. Boom. What do we do? Ignorant man says, well, we have to defend ourselves. Yeah? By doing it back. Yeah! Now we're corrupted. Now we do it back.
And we have to do it in the sneakiest way possible because we don't have their military technology. So we wear vests and blow ourselves up, and we drive cars over people. We do whatever we can because we don't have a stockpile of AR-15s.
We don't have Ahmed.
We don't have drones.
Good evening.
We don't have Predator drones.
If only they had Ahmed. Ahmed the terrorist. The only terrorist in history to survive a suicide bombing. And still be able to talk and move around.
Here's a little social experiment.
Look,
that only the Joker would do, of course.
In online posts, he liked to present himself in the guise of a gangster rapper.
Rappers are evil.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you wanted to do like a little social experiment, you know, something maybe the Joker might think of, just open a brand new Walmart. That's it, guys. Everything's for free. In like a, you know, middle class to lower class.
Yeah.
And watch the fucking chaos.
Oh, please look.
Now
it's called.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. Now take the top 20 richest guys in the world. Say, look, no one will know about this. It's completely anonymous. Store a gun in the middle of the floor. So the last guy standing gets to keep all his money. Everyone else will obviously be dead.
Oh my god.
Instead of all of them saying, guys, step back. We don't need to do this. Let's fuck up whoever's telling us to do this. They're like...
No, this is what's gonna happen.
It's not human nature.
You have some sort of Saudi like secret king or something like that. Mark Cuban probably has billions stashed away, something like trillions. He's there too. You have one of the Rothschilds possibly there as well, and some other guy I'd never heard of. And then Mark Cuban's like, wait. We both know this gun isn't real. This is merely a test. You see, it's just kind of
Did I win?
Mark Cuban wins again.
I'm buying the Lakers too now. But, yeah, and I'm not saying that's human nature. I'm saying that's the nature of ignorance. You fuck up, and you fuck up, and you just keep fucking up till you get it right. That is the nature of ignorance, not human nature. Meh.
Of course, not every leftist is like this. I still believe that the typical reaction to having your daughter raped and murdered by an illegal or a refugee is to be out for blood, as it should be. If that happened...
Just like, you know, your child gets bombed away, just gets blown away from some fucking Moab, some mother of all bombs, the dad might pick up a weapon and say, are you guys fighting then? Okay, I'll go with you.
I remember when I was silly like that. It's like, they hurt one of my family, I'll hurt them.
It's like,
did you made fun of my brother? Push. Versus, I'll just be continuing this silly cycle of ignorance here. And this isn't right either. So,
and
gave her the gun.
It sounds so correct when you said Fox News, because they were like basically just ignoring everything. And that's why everything bad during the George Bush era. They were trying so bad to do it that it became comical, and everyone's like, Fox News. That's when the other channels took over. Yeah. And then they looked fucking stupid with their whole Russia shit.
If you look at it, right, it's like, well, let's just give her the gun. Here, go ahead. We'll see where this leads you.
Export some justice for us.
We're gonna put you on this island over here. Go get them. No, we don't believe in that. It's not right. But you have fun. We're not gonna stop you. It's your choice. Have fun.
Continue.
To me, I want a pitchfork-wielding mob driving all... Of course, not every leftist is like this. I still believe that the typical reaction to having your daughter raped and murdered by an illegal or a refugee is to be out for blood, as it should be. If that happens to me, I want a pitchfork-wielding mob driving all illegals out of the community.
You don't know what you want. You're too ignorant to understand that.
That's the exact argument of the Arabs and Muslims in the Middle East.
Yes. The U.S. begins an illegal...
You're arguing for them right now without even realizing it.
The U.S. begins an illegal war, which they have no proof of, but they automatically roll in.
America, fuck yeah. Coming in to save the motherfucking day.
I just like when guys like this.
That's where they have like the same guy singing that all the time. Alright,
That guy secretly made his career. America, fuck yeah. And I'm Matt Damon. Wait, yeah, she's too silly, ignorant to understand what she actually wants.
Yes. Oh, we forgot. We got to do this and then.
What? Oh, no, it's. Yeah.
You just squeeze the life.
Just squeeze the consciousness out of it.
And you bury it over there in the pet cemetery. Yeah.
Sometimes that is better. What the fuck? Alright.
You heard it here, folks. But it's becoming increasingly clear
Pause
to
that.
me...
Pause it really quick.
Of course...
Here, I'll tell you. I got you.
Not every leftist is like this. I still believe that the typical reaction to having your daughter raped and murdered by an illegal or a refugee is to be out for blood, as it should be. If that happens to me, I want a pitchfork-wielding mob driving all illegals out of the community. You heard it here first.
Stop there. I'll fucking remember that forever. That you said that. And that's why you won't be there, a part of a team that's going to help the world to be better.
She has a redemption chance to paint.
Oh, sure. I'm in it right now.
To just flatten that ego.
I'm in right now.
Ah, yeah.
Because I would hope they all have a chance for redemption, but I make mistakes.
Redemption? That's religious sounding. Or woo-woo. Sounds unrealistic.
I have went far past that.
Your conscience? That sounds irrational and abstract.
Connor, do I have to tell you again? You're not a part of that yet. And I hope you will be. Now get out.
How could you believe in something so insipid as love?
Insipid.
They keep claiming the red pill, and then it's like, you sound like Smith. It's like, watch the second and third movies, guys. I mean...
But it's becoming increasingly clear to me that those leftists that can be reasoned with, that are able to see the light, have already jumped ship, which really diminishes not only the ability, but the necessity of influencing this remaining dogmatic faction through argument. The left is our...
You're the definition of a dogmatic faction. I said Fox News because it's like a little cult. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And Fox News is shifting in your direction, so...
Slowly but surely. Yeah.
Already resorting to mob violence. We've all seen the Maxine Waters clip 500 times, so I won't play it here. Additionally, we've seen new lows with Kavanaugh and how gleefully the left will destroy the life of a good family man just to win.
We don't know if he's a good family man. We don't know that at all.
No. Ted Bundy was apparently pretty nice to people. But, hey, you never know. You never know. Clean-cut young man. People said he was handsome. Oh, yeah, that Ted fella? Ah, he was a pretty upright fellow. Now, I have to smoke my cigarette and mow my lawn. What's that? He killed his... Oh, God. So I didn't know.
My opinion on the whole Kavanaugh thing is that he's innocent of the charges that those women brought up. Yeah, no. But that does not make him a good person all of a sudden. Right? It says nothing. All it says is he didn't rape these 3 girls. That's all it says.
It says nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Dick Cheney's never committed a crime in his life.
I don't care. It's like...
He's a good guy. He's a good fellow.
I have never failed a drug test in my life. I don't care.
That's a good reference, but I would have went with Lance Armstrong. He's like the most notarized.
Ah,
like,
but Sammy's
he's
funny.
the guy.
Sammy's the funniest one.
Or even Barry.
I forgot how to speak English. I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
I did it for the fans.
Well, Barry was like, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not talking about it. And then there's Mark McGuire. I'm not here to talk about the past. You fucked yourself right there. At least he's like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna ignore the dead man in the ballroom, which is just as bad.
That was whatever his lawyer told him to say.
Yeah, yeah.
That was, let's just not go to jail today.
Yeah.
How about that? All right. So far,
what can we do to ignore the Iraq War? Baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. So far, these are pretty poor arguments.
Yeah.
All the while believing that they're doing the moral thing. The time to reason with these people is over. I have learned a lot. I used to think he was just petty, and maybe he is. But especially in light of his long-running treatment of Elizabeth Warren, I think he...
That's how we get laid. We need to treat him like shit. And then, once we pass the shit test, they'll come crawling back.
So you're saying if I find
their nature.
If I find J-Lo actually walking the streets of New York City without like her security guard and A-Rod around her, you're telling me if I get like a hammer and run across her and like hit her in the knee and tear her ACL, that means she'll come running to me like 8 months later after rehab, saying I want you, baby?
Only if you do it in a ski mask. Run around the corner, change outfits, take your ski mask off, and go like, "Oh, are you okay?" And you landed it.
Gotcha. I have to pull a Mr. Deeds.
But if you just strictly insult her, she'll come crawling to you.
Well, of course, I just tore her ACL.
She'll understand you're the alpha male. Anyway, back over.
I've learned a lot from Donald Trump. I used to think he was just petty, and maybe
I go
he
forward
is.
or backward?
But
Or I just not listen when she said any of that.
No, dude, it's okay. You're not the one that went forward or backwards. She's the one that went backwards.
will destroy the life of a good family man just to win.
You don't know
All
what good
the while
is.
believing that they're doing the moral thing.
You
The time
probably
and reason
far
with
off
these
on that
people
as
is
well.
over. I've learned a lot from Donald Trump.
Bet you have.
I used to think he was just petty, and maybe he is. But especially in light of his long-running treatment of Elizabeth Warren, I think he's just on a...
And his treatment of those Syrians. And Palestine as well. But let's not talk about that.
And the people in Yemen.
different, higher level of dealing with leftists than I am. He seems to have realized a long time ago that reason was not going to influence the remaining leftists that are clinging to their worldview in the face of overwhelming, negating evidence.
Just like you.
So he takes a different approach. He
Just like
mocks
you.
them into action. Then they become apoplectic very publicly, and before they know it, they are dying an undignifying death on the cold ground after being hoisted with their own petard.
Very brave of you to say it in such a way.
Oh, it's like, well, who are
Very
you talking
strong.
about? Like,
Huh?
who are you talking about when you keep saying leftists and shit like that? You mean mainstream politicians that
You know why?
people
Yeah.
have not liked for a long period
You know
of
why?
time?
Every time someone says left and right, I throw up my fucking hands. Because it's some silly shit that doesn't mean anything. So what do you mean? The left. The right. I'm like, someone out there is going to look, oh, you're a leftist. I'm like, I no idea I was. You're on the right, you're on the far. You're on the far right. It's like, I don't really label myself, man. And this becomes so, like, you see how they even like, if you have a thing called the left,
Right.
And there's like branches, like you're a neoconservative, you're a leftist, or whatever the fuck. It's like, what? How about we just do what's right? How about that?
It's people on two different teams that only argue about issues with easy solutions domestically and are on the same team and completely agree when we step out of the domestic venue. As soon as it ends up in some sort of war scenario, they're all on the same team. When it's here, it's issues that are easily fixed, but they continue to argue.
Easily fixable.
Easily fixable. I don't even know if that's correct. Whatever.
No, it is. You said easily fixed.
Yeah.
Can be. They're not fixed.
They can be easily fixed.
Yeah, okay.
And, yeah. They'll just argue. They've been arguing the same issues for how long now? The same exact things.
Probably even a lot longer than we can comprehend.
And when they step out of those things, it relegates to the dumbest fucking arguments ever.
This might be going. This very thing has probably been going on for centuries. But these people like to cut it off at this point in time.
Yeah.
Back in 1900, this is bullshit. Back in 1900, the first Republican made state that I will help people. And then politics changed forever. Like, hey, I'm pretty sure years and years before us, back when they had coliseums and shit, there's politics. But no, they did nothing like this. It's not like you guys are repeating the same shit, just putting a different name on it, right? No. That's right, James. No. Are you gonna go vote?
And I promise you, they're all easy. They can all be easily fixed. I don't know. You just sit around and argue with it. And these people like her, no offense, get propped up. And the mainstream news gets propped up. And they end up arguing with each other. It's like, this is a real debate going on in America. It's like, never hear solutions.
Yeah.
Never hear legitimate solutions from these guys.
Yeah, unlike insulting people, but, you're self-deserving. Like, hey, you deserve each other. Here.
Some humble pie.
Until you see the light. Like, how dare you talk about the light?
Alright.
Through relentless mocking, he somehow got Elizabeth Warren to proudly show the world that she does, in fact, have minority status, being less than 1/1000th Native American. Well, I guess I belong on the
And that's important. Why?
Exactly. Do you see the dumb issue we're looking at right now?
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
res too, bitch. And the mainstream media, because they had so status, being less than 1/1000th Native American. Well, I guess I belong on the res too, bitch. And the mainstream media, because they had so vehemently defended her, had to go down with the ship. That is Trump's brilliance, his ability, through mocking these idiots with things we've all thought, time and again has been able to expose the left's hypocrisy. In this case, that in their quest for racial tolerance, they've gotten legitimate minorities to elevate a rich, old, white woman to the status of the most protected minority group in this country, even though this is clearly a farce.
In terms, you're right. Trump is the way. It's not like he's participating in the legal wars of past and present. No.
I want my check. I'm Native American, partially. I want my benefits.
Of the Elizabeth Warren, the attack on Warren, I believe that was actually about white anxieties among Donald Trump's base about who was white in America.
This should be a lesson for all of us. Mockery, particularly when based in truth, is a powerful tool to defeat the left. This is why memes are so effective, especially in dealing with heavy subject matter. Like Trump, they cut to the heart of an issue, merging current events with harsh truths and usually a touch of humor. This explains the Clinton campaign, the mainstream media, and the ADL's treatment of 4chan and Pepe the Frog.
Kill Jews, man. Pepe the Frog. I don't even know if that's French.
What?
I don't even know if that's French. That
I thought it was just a Hitler mustache.
Me too. Kill Jews, man. Fuck. Alright. I could honestly say I wouldn't have to watch any more of this.
It's entertaining, though.
It's entertaining. It's just, oh my god, are you like... But Trump is... Like, are you fucking... Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? You know? Like, really? We're just gonna ignore all the legal shit that's happening? You think he's racist? You're just a part of those. Like, no, I'm not. No, I don't know if he's racist or not. I do know that shit going on in the Middle East that's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Syria, Yemen, not to mention what's happening like in Israel. You know, we're supporting it. Oh, great, just great. Oh, but you don't talk about that, do you? No.
Half a truth is not a truth at all. Fuck. Yeah. Right.
It's dangerous for the right to have this humorous cultural element that resonates with a younger audience begin to quite significantly influence the narrative. The left felt that the only way to fight memes' broad appeal is to shut it all down. But they don't really have to do that. If the left had retained any of their former edgy sense of humor, they could just engage in the meme war rather than try to censor those that expose leftist hypocrisy.
Stop it. What is this going to do? What's your purpose? I don't understand. How is this going to help people?
And you say like the left lost its humor.
It's edgy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, no, those guys are still the same. You're just calling the left this so you can argue against it and have a place in the discussion.
I'm curious, yeah.
I think she means like the Dave Chappelle types, the Jon Stewart types.
I know.
Like, oh, they're the
gone.
way the left used to be. They're not like that anymore. Like, no, those guys are still around. They still do comedy.
What I want to know is, as far as for if
you call yourself a Democrat, does not mean left.
For morality, like, why any of this? I'd love to know.
I think it's wanting to go back to, like, probably seen movies about like the 1960s in Middle America. It's like, oh, I want that existence. I want to keep that existence going and make America great again. That's sort of what the slogan means, doesn't it?
It's a fantasy. It never existed. Okay? It never fucking existed. People don't want to talk about it. As, hey, you know, people still got drunk and beat their partners. You know that, right? People still got abused. Oh, you remember segregation? Oh, yeah, that was a thing too. Oh, more illegal wars. That's another thing as well. Oh, look at that. While all those things were happening, in the Korean War, remember that? No, we don't want to talk about that, do we? No. It's forgotten. That's forgotten, right? No.
Yeah. Pipe dream, essentially.
It's gross. A gross misrepresentation of what this is the ideal world. Like, you have no idea what that is. I'm not saying she can't feel happiness, but if we're talking about the right thing or goodness, it's like, fucking leave it to me, because you can't fucking do it. Not yet. This is a moral crime.
All I gotta say is, thank God there weren't like prevalent prescription pills for moms that had to stay at home.
Do you imagine?
And do nothing. Yeah.
And that might be the biggest way we can be influential and win against the left, by deploying our sense of humor. We all remember Ali Stuckey's hilarious fake interview with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which is an age-old method of satire used by countless comedians and was quite obviously not an attempt to give the impression that Stuckey was conducting this interview.
Do you have any knowledge whatsoever about how our political system works? Yikes. Does that make you a little bit nervous?
The left has such an eroded sense of humor that virtually the entire mainstream media missed the point and believed that Stuckey was trying to present this as a real interview.
Because they're dumb.
Branded it fake news. This is such a perfect example of conservatives employing mockery and using...
Also, I still don't consider that the left. I don't know. For some reason,
count when you say it, huh?
For some reason, I don't consider that.
No, here, this is the other thing I'm talking about as well. Just wait, look. She can't talk like a... She has to use these... She sees... She sees things through a fucking political spectrum. And it's incredibly toxic and annoying.
Yeah.
It's these conservative... Like, dude, it's called dumb people. And you're one of them. I don't get it. I really... I do. But at the same time, I'm never... It never ceases to surprise me, you know? And then, you know, and not only this, right? I smell like a lack of someone being genuine here.
I don't know.
Something, something's putting me off. It just...
I think it's her ego attempting to be genuine, but it's like the ideas are so bad that
what I mean
it
is
comes off
this.
as
What I mean is this. Like, it does come off as disingenuous, you know. What I mean is look at her. Look at people like very incredibly similar to her.
Yeah.
It's really creepy if you look. If you really, no, I'm not kidding. Like really, it's like a prototype. It's like, who else sounds like this? Who else looks like that?
Oh, as she said, she's trying to present it eloquently.
Yeah, okay.
And apparently we made an arbitrary standard of what eloquent is.
It's like a formula.
And then she's following
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Which means, like, is this genuine? Is this you, or is this just something you saw? You know what I mean? Are you the admirer? Are you the fan? Or are you the individual?
Yeah.
I wonder. Are you authentic?
Their sense of humor to undermine insane leftists. They're left with no recourse because they're incapable of processing the humor. It just scrambles their brains. They feel that they have no choice but to take to social media and defend themselves, displaying their woeful inability to take or even understand the joke. They read as unrelatable, defensive, and if they were smart, perceptive, or funny, the obvious reaction is to meme the hell out of Ali Stuckey, but they just can't do it. If they aren't being violent, we just have to treat liberals like the petulant children that they are. They need to be made to feel small through mockery, stupid through elevated humor, and when they persist, stamp their feet and become red in the face, their ideas need to be treated with apathy. So much up.
Oh. What did you just say?
I was with you as like, because we're doing that to her right now in these other videos, sort of mocking it.
I only mock things that are incredibly like this. Like this, it's the truth, guys. What did you just say? It's the truth. I'm like, no. We don't know what the truth is. Now I can talk about it.
If you take something with just apathy, then you're ignorant. Then you're literally creating ignorance. You're creating empty space. Right? You hear an idea and you just have no care for it at all.
It's like total disregard. It's like, Mom, I don't want... Yes, Mary. No, let the adults talk. I don't want to... Okay. Like, would you stop being a little punk? Like, that's what I said to the parent. You fucking listen to the kid. How dare you, you know? Just trump them, you know?
And
just, we don't care about what you want.
And by the way, I think that's just being disingenuous. I think if she heard an idea that was like, oh fuck, like one of those ideas.
No, you heard that, right?
Shit,
that's out in your face. The other ones are like breadcrumbs. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, I'm not liking this. Which is why I'm gonna say this is a character you play. This is a character. I
would agree, but say whether she knows it or not. It's a persona rather than what do you like when no one's looking?
Again, a character you play to further your career.
Maybe. Alright.
Of Antifa and the mainstream media's mania is dependent on the negative reactions they elicit from conservatives. I think Ted Koppel is absolutely right about this.
You would be lost without Donald Trump.
That's what he says. Ted, you know that's not true.
Oh, is that, I forgot his name, Stelter or something like that? It's not Cornel West there. I don't hear any argument like, the left, and Cornel West over there. It's like, they don't bring his name up. I don't know.
His ratings would be in the toilet without Donald Trump. Is there a moment of the day when they are not focusing on Donald Trump or some intimately related subject?
Can you imagine? He's getting frustrated with his girlfriend. When are you going to suck my dick? That's it. It's like always in this position. Always talking like this.
So eloquent, she falls to her knees.
Oh. It must have been the left. Left, and he goes out. It's a joke, people. It's a joke.
See, we can joke too, because we're leftists.
It is essentially all I know every once in a while.
CNN, MSNBC, and virtually the entire left are addicted to...
CNN, MSNBC stops there and just says the entire left. I think that's who you're viewing as the entire left.
Like I said, man, like instead of paying attention to the whole playground,
Jimmy Dore's like, say my name, say it.
No, he's like, he's on the couch. He's like, say my name, say my name. Like I said, man, like the whole playground, right? There's a group of people that only pay attention to one part, and like she's in the sandbox. You see, they're ruining the whole sandbox, all of them. I'm like, you're cutting you're cookie cutting here. You kidding me? It's like someone also told me this too. You know, it's like, I like to look around before I make an opinion. You know, I like to get different points of view. I'm like, yeah, from the same fucking media. What are you doing? See, you know, I gotta look at Fox. I gotta look at CNN. I gotta look at what was it? Fucking what were the other Fox?
MSNBC.
Yeah, all the other media, the main media outlets for news. Yeah. You know, propaganda and whatnot. I have to look at all of them and then compare them. Then I make my decision which one I'm gonna watch. Like, yeah, it's not doing a lot here. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
It's I'm a Christian. I'm an atheist. Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah. And also, I forgot to bring up Jimmy Dore in that earlier point.
Got it. Oh, we got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
to getting a reaction out of the right. Even worse, they cannot function without it. They would have to, God forbid, go back to actual journalism if they didn't have this anti-Trump narrative to obsess about.
What journalism are you into?
They don't have to be good journalists or affect change anymore because, like SNL,
only things that talk about like immigration and South African farmers and shit.
You mean the low intelligence people? Ah.
There is no other atrocities in the world.
What's Yemen? What's a bus? Boom?
I know it's bad, but look at the immigrants.
How do you define boom? You mean like pinata? Or what's that boy bombing bus blood? I'm not here to talk about the past. So my lawyer told me. He went to school, he's intelligent. It means his morals are in check.
And present-day comics, instead of actually being funny, they can just shit on Trump and revel in the ego-gratifying laughter. The mainstream media does the same thing with this 24/7 Trump hate porn. This is why this Trumpian, I don't give a hoot attitude is so powerful. You want to say he's some orange loon with small hands, that he has a tiny dick, want to even go spicier and say he sexually assaults women. He gets defensive sometimes, which I wish he wouldn't, but generally, I don't think that he really cares that much. Their mockery is just not as powerful as his mockery. They're just going balls to the wall, attacking him constantly, then trying to see which elements of their attacks resonate most with the general public.
And they don't bring up war because they all agree on the same. They all agree on that. Maybe you should take a look into that.
Or it's gonna fucking destroy their fucking tower. Like, we purposely don't look at this side.
If I question Trump on war, I'd have to question myself.
It's like this. It's like a fantasy. Everyone wants to believe that the United States of America, were the good guys in World War II. There were no good guys in any war. If you're in the war, that means no. Yeah. Now it's different if it's like a fucking like a race what do you call it? Soulless demons. You know what I mean? Well, that's different.
A horde. As Game of Thrones would say.
Yeah.
All right.
He, on the other hand, is strategic. 1% Biden, Pocahontas, Crooked Hillary, Leaking Diane, Low IQ Maxine. He really is quite good at this. Catchy, an element of humor, and most importantly, true. Like,
I meant literally demons. That's what I meant. You know, the idea of no souls. They're not people. They're not nothing. They're just kill, 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 kill. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, that's what I meant.
Essentially, ideas.
Yes.
Bad ideas.
Yeah.
Memes, these names catch on, spread, and lead people to investigate the claims he's making. It seems like apathy toward their claims, then relentless and hilarious mockery in a public forum, will do the trick with those on the left that can't be reasoned with. But this strategy will not be effective if you demonstrate vulnerability, which Trump does, as I mentioned before, and should try to avoid. It isn't that I have a problem with him showing humility. I have a problem with him being defensive. The left perceives this as a demonstration of guilt. Maybe we need to take a page from their book on this one. Innocent or guilty, maybe we shouldn't defend ourselves unless absolutely necessary. And we certainly shouldn't apologize. They aren't going to praise our principled behavior or humility. Instead, they will attack our vulnerability. It's like blood in the water for them. I do make an exception for someone like Kavanaugh, who is clearly innocent and has been put in a position where it's possible to exonerate himself to some degree.
I bet, you know, she must have, she used her investigating skills. I don't know where she got them from. Just like you, I watch Blue's Clues. I must... let me get my coloring book out, or my pad, just... That's where we're getting our detective skills from here. Don't you see? He's innocent. It was proven in court, it's true.
That makes him a good person.
Fuck out of here, man. Oh my god.
It's like saying you're good until proven guilty. You're a good human.
No, it's called we don't know. We don't know. We don't know coming in, and we don't know beforehand, you know? We don't know. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Just saving your soul.
Preparing you for the war. So yeah, like, yeah. Making sure you're up to par. Pause. See? No second thought.
Alright, let's do this video.
With his defense, at least with a large percentage of the public. I wish it did not have to be this way. In a perfect world, we could fight every battle with reason and evidence and win. But the left has developed a complete disregard for the truth. You can win a debate in a public forum with the leftists and influence the audience, which is very important. But at this point, I'm not sure how effective a demonstration of even the clearest truths will be on the mind of someone who is emotionally motivated and has significant ego investment in their truth. I'm starting to think that maybe the best
ego investment.
First of all, it's like every time she says the truth, you should immediately like you know, somewhat like fucking put it on like a pedestal and just put it lower. You know why? Because we don't know what it means. Now you start saying it. Clearly he's innocent. It's true. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay? I'm not taking sides with this whole thing, you know, as far as like the guy that she says is innocent, right? But that means you don't know what the truth is. That means you don't know. That means whenever you say it, I have to question it. There's people who can say truth. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say like I'm gonna say that my intuition tells me based off like previous experiences here that he knows or she knows what they're talking about. You, I have to immediately go, yeah, she probably doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. You have to be careful with this one. You know,
the truth, the ego.
She's talking about morality, ego, truth, knowing, and someone being innocent. Pretty exposing, if you ask me.
The truth. The ego.
And there's a heavy sense of hypocrisy here. Yeah.
The truth.
Yeah.
The ego. Haha.
The win is just to laugh in their faces. Thanks, folks, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
No, you won't. You won't respond to us. We'll see. We'll be seeing you, but not in a creepy stalker way. You know. Just here on YouTube, waiting. You don't have to.
So we're gonna go see the movie Halloween, and that is the end of this stream.
No, the left is no.
Subscribe if you like, comment if you feel like, and as always, just give us a good old right-wing thumbs down.